What am I being arrested for? Like, what is...
So it's possession of marijuana, less than 20 grams.
Liv Morgan got herself arrested in December 2023 in Florida. Cops said she was driving a bit sketchy, couldn't stay in her lane, so they pulled her over, a usual traffic stop you would think. But the moment she rolled down the window, boom, strong smell of weed.
You been smoking marijuana?
Yes.
Why do I smell marijuana?
I have marijuana, but I wasn't smoking marijuana.
Okay.
That's basically an open invitation in cop world. They searched her Jeep and found a bit of weed and a THC vape pen. That's a big nope in Florida, unless you've got medical papers. So yeah, they booked her for possession. It was actually a felony because of the vape.
Yeah, there was a vape in my car. I don't know whose vape was in my car.
Which is wild considering how half the country is out here smoking legal edibles shaped like gummy bears. But she didn't fight it, didn't act like a diva, just got handcuffed, processed, and released later. Her mugshot was all over the internet. It was one of those, dang, she still kinda looks cute mugshots. Nobody got hurt, nothing crazy, just a reminder that Florida cops aren't playing when it comes to weed. Big Show, Paul White. Back in 1998, Big Show got arrested over something that still feels random decades later. He was accused of flashing someone at a hotel. Back in 1998, he got arrested for indecent exposure, allegedly. The story goes that he flashed a woman at a hotel. Yeah, not exactly the storyline you want when you just joined WWE.
Why? This always happened to me!
The charges were dropped, he denied it completely, and there wasn't enough evidence. Honestly, the dude's like 7'2" and massive, so if he actually did anything sketchy in public, it wouldn't exactly be a stealth mission. Still, the occasion alone made headlines. Nothing ever came of it, and it never affected his career.
Fighting as if it were for his career, for his professional life. And look at this power. Oh my gosh.
Big Show's name was in the system for a hot minute. Matt Hardy. Matt was out here collecting arrests like trading cards in 2011. It was bad. The first incident was a DUI where he straight up crashed his car. Nobody else was hurt, thank God, but he was clearly in no shape to be driving. Police said he couldn't even complete the basic balance tests. Then, not even a week later, boom, arrested again. This time for drug possession, pills, controlled substances, the usual disaster mix. And then, like some terrible sequel, another DUI after that. It was just a spiral of arrests, rehab stints, and headlines. This all happened while he was working with TNA, and even they suspended him, and they were usually pretty hands-off about stuff like that. It was sad to watch in real time. The dude was clearly battling a lot, and it showed. Thankfully, he eventually pulled himself out of it, got sober, got his life together, and now he's doing good. But yeah, 2011 was rock bottom for Matt, and it played out publicly, mugshot by mugshot. Brock Lesnar. Brock got arrested in 2001 when he was still grinding it out in developmental, OVW days. Cops in Louisville found a bunch of substances on him they thought were illegal steroids, and that was enough for them to haul him in. The media jumped on it, because this guy was already looking like a walking tank.
Brock Lesnar!
Look into the eye.
Arrested, charged, mugshotted, it looked like a big deal, until it wasn't. Turns out the stuff he had wasn't illegal at all, just over-the-counter supplements. Basically gym junk with scary names. So the charges got dropped, and everyone moved on. Brock never talked much about it, no surprise there. But for a minute, the guy who would later become the most unstoppable force in wrestling was almost taken down by mislabeled protein powder. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie's arrest hit a little different. This was in 2001, and it wasn't just a legal thing. It was part of a much bigger personal battle. He was arrested for DUI after crashing his car in Hillsborough County, Florida. No one else was involved, but it was serious. He was deep in addiction at the time. WWE released him not long after. Not to punish him, but because he needed help more than he needed matches. He went to rehab, got clean, and earned his way back. What came next was one of the best comeback stories ever. Winning the WWE, the love of the fans. All of it. But none of that would have happened without that arrest putting things into perspective. It was the lowest point, and he used it to climb back up. Lita, Amy Dumas. Lita got arrested in 2011, and honestly, it was one of the less dramatic ones on this list, but still a legit arrest. She got pulled over in Georgia for speeding. Nothing wild, just driving fast. But then the cop ran her info and boom, suspended license. Once you're caught driving with a suspended license, it's not just a warning or a ticket, it's step out of the vehicle. She got booked, spent a little time in custody, and got released. No drugs, no alcohol, no fight. Just a rough combo of bad timing and bad paperwork. But yeah, even one of the coolest women in wrestling had to do the mugshot shuffle over a traffic stop. X-Pac, Sean Waltman. X-Pac's arrest history is messy, like everything else in his life back then. In 2011, he got arrested for drug possession. It didn't surprise many people. He was open about struggling with serious addiction, and this was just another chapter in that saga.
Used for that type of stuff as anybody else, but I'm also a drug addict.
Then in 2017, he was arrested again. This time, at LAX. TSA thought he had meth in his bag. The media ran with it instantly. Meth? X-Pac? Here we go again. But plot twist, it wasn't meth. Lab tests came back, and he was cleared. The charges were dropped, but by then, the damage was kinda done. Headlines had already called him out, and most people didn't even see the follow-up. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens when your rep is already shaky. He's cleaned up now, and doing a lot better, but there was a stretch where trouble just followed him around like a bad entrance theme. Ric Flair. Back in 2005, Ric Flair got involved in a full-blown road rage incident. He allegedly got into a fight with another driver, not yelling through the window, like actually getting out of the car and grabbing the guy. The other guy reported it. Flair turned himself in, and he got charged with assault. The charges were eventually dropped, but not before it made headlines. Just one of those moments where the line between character and real life blurred a little too much. You'd think the guy would have cooled down by then, but nope, still styling, profiling, and occasionally getting arrested. Andre the Giant. Andre's arrest happened in 1989 in Iowa. He apparently got mad at a cameraman and shoved him hard enough to get charged with assault and criminal mischief. He also reportedly broke the guy's camera. The arrest didn't go crazy in the press, but still, Andre getting cuffed is not exactly your average day for local police.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you my name, you know who I am, and I'm so happy to come.
Nothing came of it long term, but yeah, even the eighth wonder of the world had a breaking point. Roman Reigns. Liti Joseph Anoa'i. Before Roman was the top guy in WWE, he was just a regular dude in Pensacola. In 2010, he got arrested for disorderly conduct and a fray. That basically means causing a public scene. Probably a fight or loud argument. Not a huge charge, but definitely one that makes your early job interviews awkward. It didn't derail anything. He cleaned up, hit WWE, and became the Golden Boy. But yeah, it's still on the record. Vince McMahon. Vince got arrested in 1993. Not for something small. This was a federal steroid distribution case. The government came at him hard, claiming he was giving out performance-enhancing drugs like Halloween candy to his wrestlers. It went to trial. He pled not guilty. After a long, messy courtroom drama, he walked out clean, acquitted. But that whole case put WWE in panic mode and changed how they handled health and drugs forever.
Let's go do this.
No. You go back to Connecticut. You take care of your husband. I'll take care of this.
Vince beat the case, but the message was clear. Everyone was watching now. Alberto Del Rio. Jose Alberto Rodriguez. Del Rio's arrest in 2020 was one of the darkest. He was accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a woman in Texas.
Alberto Del Rio, whose real name is Jose Rodriguez Jucuan, is accused of beating a woman he knows.
According to the report, he tied her up, threatened her, and assaulted her over several hours. He got arrested, charged, and held on bond. It was serious. But eventually, the case got dropped. The woman didn't show up for court, and there wasn't enough to go forward. Even though it didn't go to trial, it completely killed his image. WWE cut ties, and he hasn't bounced back since. It's one of those things where, charged or not, it's stuck to him now. Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash got arrested on Christmas Eve in 2014 after getting into a fight with his teenage son. Police showed up, saw both of them with marks and scratches, and just arrested them both to be safe.
Kevin Nash told deputies his son came home intoxicated and belligerent toward his mother.
Nash said he was defending himself after his son started swinging. Charges were dropped not too long after. But yeah, not exactly the holiday vibe you want. Whole thing was just an ugly family argument that escalated way too far. The public didn't judge him too hard, but still, nobody wants domestic dispute attached to their name in headlines.